Sonam had recently started a new job in a different city where she met a boy named Siddharth, who was also a newcomer. Surprisingly, he was a professional golfer on the side and was here to earn some money. Sonam was a simple, passionate girl, while Siddharth seemed somewhat dull and lacking enthusiasm. They worked together, and later a girl named Prisha joined their team, who invited them both for dinner to a place they had never heard of before. She wasn't sure she was in the mood for fun, after the draining week she had. As she reached the entrance, she spotted Siddharth leaning casually against the wall, checking his phone.
Hey, ready for whatever this is?
Yeah, let's what we've gotten ourselves into, she replied with a light chuckle. The restaurant was much larger than it appeared from the outside. Something about the place felt off, though neither of them could quite put their finger on it. That's when a waiter approached them. His way of talking was peculiar, almost robotic. That's when Sonam noticed a child, no older than 5, sitting quietly at the table next to theirs. Sid glanced at Sonam, his brow raising slightly.
That's weird. Should we ask someone where his parents are?
Before they could, the lights started flickering. They waved over the server.
Is that kid okay? Is he here alone?
Sid asked. The server's expression didn't change as he replied.
He's been here. Would you like to order now?
Sonam exchanged a glance with Siddharth.
Right. We'll just look at the menu for now.
Suddenly, the lights flickered again, then went out completely, plunging the room into darkness. The lights snapped back on, but the dining hall was empty. Every table, once filled with guests, now stood abandoned. The only people left was Sonam, Sid, and the small child. Sonam blinked, her heart thudding in her chest. The sudden emptiness of the dining hall felt impossible, like a trick her eyes were playing. Just seconds ago, the place had been filled with the murmur of voices, clinking glasses, and the soft hum of conversation. Now, there was nothing but silence. Sid stood up slowly, scanning the room with sharp, weary eyes.
Where did everyone go?
He muttered, more to himself than to Sonam. Sonam stood, her chair scraping against the floor.
Siddharth, something is seriously wrong. This isn't normal. People don't just disappear. Let's get out of here now.
Pulling her gaze away, Sid nodded, but just as they turned towards the entrance, the boy spoke.
You can't leave. They don't let you leave. Once you're inside, you can't go.
Sonam felt creep down her spine.
What do you mean? Who's they?
Follow me.
The boy said. Something about the place wasn't right, but Sid was already following the boy, his steps quick and determined. The boy led them without a word, his tiny footsteps eerily quiet on the floor. The further they went, the colder it became. The boy stopped in front of a large, heavy wooden floor at the end of the corridor. It was old, its surface worn and scarred, and something about it felt wrong.
What the hell is this?
Siddharth murmured, stepping into the room. The boy turned to them, his face finally showing fear.
This is where they come from.
He whispered, backing away.
Who? Who
Sonam,
comes from here?
before Sonam could process what he meant, the lights flickered, then went out again. As the shadows lengthened around them, the hallway stretched on endlessly. They had been walking for what felt like hours. The narrow hallway seemed endless, stretching further with each turn, leading them deeper into the labyrinth building. Sonam had lost track of how many corners they'd turned, how many doors they'd passed that led nowhere. But then, without warning, the boy was gone. 1 second, he was there, his small figure a shadow just ahead of them, and next, the space he occupied was empty. Sonam and Sid stopped in their tracks, blinking in disbelief. There was no door, no sign of where he might have gone.
Where did he go?
Sonam whispered, glancing around nervously.
This place is playing tricks on us.
She muttered, feeling the weight of their situation settling over her. Sid turned back towards her with concern in his eyes.
We need to find somewhere to rest. We've been walking around in circles and we don't even know what time it is anymore. We'll figure it out in the morning.
Just then, Sid spotted a door at the end of the corridor. It looked different from the other side, with its painting peeling and a strange symbol carved into the wood. Something about it felt off, but they didn't have many options. He walked over to it, hesitated for a moment, then pushed it open. Inside was a small room, dimly lit by a single weak bulb that hung from the ceiling. The space was bare, except for the 2 old-fashioned cots on either side of the room and a small table in the center. The walls were painted a sickly yellow, the air inside stale and musty, as though the room hadn't been used in years. Sonam stepped inside. The creaking of the floor sent a chill down his spine.
I guess this is the best option.
She said softly.
It's not much.
Siddharth agreed.
But it's better than wandering all night.
They both moved towards the cot, each taking on one on the opposite side of the room. Sonam couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, even though there was no one else in the room. The walls felt like they were closing in, the shadows playing tricks with their eyes. She sat down at the edge of her cot, wrapping her arms around herself.
Do you think the boy is okay?
She asked after a long silence.
I don't know. This place it's not normal. But we'll find him. We'll figure out what's going on.
Sid shifted on his cot across the room, and the sound of the old spring made her glance over. He caught her looking and gave her a small, tired smile.
If it makes you feel better, I'll stay up here for a while to keep a watch.
Sonam shook her head.
No, you should rest too. We both need sleep if we're going to figure this out tomorrow. Do you think it's weird that we're stuck in this insane situation together? I mean, we didn't even know each other that well before tonight.
Sid chuckled softly, though there was no humor in it.
It's definitely odd, but I think maybe we were meant to get through this together.
Paused, then added with a slight grin.
Besides, I'm not so bad to be stuck with, right?
She smiled as she replied.
You're not.
Sonam's eyes began to grow heavy. She fought against sleep, but exhaustion was slowly overtaking her. Just before she drifted off, she heard Sid's voice again, soft and almost tentative.
Hey Sonam,
Yeah,
She murmured, her eyes barely open.
if you get scared, you can come over here.
I'll keep that in mind.
The room was still. Sonam lay on her back, staring up at the cracked ceiling, her mind too restless to let her sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she thought she heard faint whispers in the wall, the kind that made her skin crawl and her heart race. She has always been good at brushing off fear, but tonight felt different. There was something wrong about this place. Across the room, Sid had been silent for a long time. Sonam wondered if he had managed to fall asleep despite everything. The thought of him here, just a few feet away, was oddly comforting. His calm presence kept her grounded. She sat up slowly, listening intently. The creaking grew louder, closer. Sonam's pulse raced and she felt a cold shiver crawl up her spine. Her mouth went dry and she found herself instinctively whispering.
Siddharth?
There was no response.
Sid?
She repeated, louder this time, her voice trembling. Her hand gripped the edge of her blanket tightly, her eyes scanning the dark corners of the room. She felt something brush against her arm. Sonam gasped, a soft yelp, but before she could react further, she heard Sid's voice.
It's me.
In an instant, she realized what had happened. Sid had come over to her side of the room.
You scared me.
She whispered, half laughing, half scolding as her heart slowly settled back into her chest.
I'm sorry.
Sid said, his voice low but gentle, his outline barely visible in the faint light. He trailed off and they both listened in the darkness for a moment. The eerie creaks continued, loudly echoing in the silence of the room. Something was out there, or worse, something was in the room with them. Without thinking, Sonam grabbed Sid's arm, clutching him tightly, her earlier fear returning in full force.
You hear it too, right?
She whispered, her voice shaking. Sid sat down beside her on the cot, his proximity offering comfort, suddenly deafening. Sonam and Siddharth both tensed, waiting for the next sound, the next moment. But nothing came. The room was unnervingly still once again. Sonam leaned slightly towards Sid, her grip on his arm loosening her, but her body still on edge. Soon both of them dozed off to sleep. When Sonam woke up, the room was bathed in a soft, eerie glow from the rising sun. The pale light filtered through the dirty window, casting a faint golden hue over everything. For a moment, she couldn't remember where she was, but then she realized where she was, still in the strange room, still lost. And then she noticed something else. She wasn't alone. Sonam was curled up against Sid, his arm draped protectively over her, his body warm and solid next to hers. Sid stirred beside her, his arm tightening slightly around her before he woke up with a soft groan. His eyes blinked open, hazy and unfocused for a moment, before they landed on Sonam. His expression shifted from confusion to surprise and then something softer.
Morning.
He murmured, his voice still rough with sleep. Sonam smiled a little, feeling her cheeks become warm.
Morning.
She whispered back, not quite ready to move. Sid glanced around the room.
I guess we made it through the night.
He said, though his voice carried an undertone of disbelief, as if he was surprised they were still here, still okay. Siddharth eventually rose, brushing the dust off of his clothes.
We should probably start looking for a way out.
He said, his voice low but steady. He held out his hand to Sonam, helping her up with a small smile that brought some of the tension from her shoulders.
We need to find that kid.
Siddharth said after a long, tense silence.
Still don't know what's going on, but I feel like everything started when he disappeared.
Sonam nodded, her mind flashing back to the boy's ghostly appearance in the room last night. They started moving ahead, searching for the boy and a way out. They turned the corner and found a heavy wooden door slightly ajar. A strange draft escaped from the room beyond. Siddharth hesitated, then gently pushed it open. The door revealed a dimly lit room with dusty furniture and old peeling at the edges. It was unsettling, but it felt safer than the hallway somehow. They both stepped inside, the door creaking shut behind them, leaving them alone in the eerie silence of the room. It was cold, almost stifling, and the silence felt unnatural. Tom sat on the dusty couch, still shaken. Dart stood nearby, pacing slightly, his mind racing for a way out. Suddenly, a strange noise, like scratching, echoed through the walls. Sonam jumped, instinctively reaching for Siddharth. He sat beside her, their shoulders brushing as Siddharth calmed her down by squeezing her hands for a slight second. Suddenly, the scratching noise grew louder, going around them. Siddharth stood, his protective instincts tripped in.
Stay close.
He said, moving toward the door. They began searching the dusty corners, moving aside the old furniture and debris. A flicker of movement caught Sonam's eyes, and she crouched beside a battered trunk.
Look,
She exclaimed, pulling it open to reveal ancient artifacts and faded photographs that hinted a dark past. Siddharth leaned closer, studying the photographs. They depicted people who looked eerily similar to them, standing in the very same restaurant.
What is this?
He muttered, unease settling in. Sonam flipped through the items, discovering a dusty journal.
this might explain everything.
She said, her voice trembling as she opened it. Inside were accounts of past visitors who had mysteriously disappeared, each entry more chilling than the last.
We're not the first ones to be trapped here.
As the shadows around them deepened, Siddharth felt a surge of urgency.
Have to figure out a way to escape this place, or we become one of them.
He urged. Sonam closed the journal, her eyes wide with fear.
What if we can't? What if we're trapped here forever?
Siddharth took a deep breath, trying to steady her.
Won't let that happen. Come on, let's find a way out.
They raced towards the door, hearts pounding as the crashing noises grew louder. The walls seemed to close in around them, the air thick with an unsettling energy. Siddharth pushed the door open, revealing a corridor bathed in eerie light.
Stay close.
He whispered, leading Sonam through the threshold. As they hurried along the hallway, the whispers from earlier returned, more insistent this time, echoing their fears.
They want us.
Sonam gasped, glancing back.
Don't look back.
Siddharth urged, determination flooding his veins.
We're getting out of here together, no matter what. We need to be careful, Sonam. We cannot let these voices take the control of us.
But I don't think I'm strong enough. I feel these voices pulling me towards them and I'm not able to resist them.
I'll help you through it, but we need to move fast.
Sonam agreed and they started moving ahead. Corridors twisted ahead, leading them to a massive door adorned with strange symbols. Siddharth pushed it open, revealing a vast chamber filled with shadows.
Is this the end?
Sonam whispered, clutching Siddharth's arm.
I won't let anything happen to you.
He replied as he stepped inside. Suddenly, a monstrous figure emerged from the darkness. It was like a giant dog towering over them. It had glistening eyes and elongated limbs radiating malevolence. Siddharth instinctively positioned himself in front of Sonam, brandishing a piece of debris as a weapon.
Stay behind me.
He shouted, heart pounding in his chest. The creature let out a low growl, echoing through the chamber, its eyes narrowing towards Siddharth.
You think you can protect her?
It taunted, its voice chilling. Siddharth gripped the debris together, determination flooding his veins.
Won't let you harm her.
With a sudden burst of speed, the creature lunged at them. Siddharth dodged to the side, swinging the makeshift weapon and landing a blow against its leg. But Siddharth was already moving, refusing to back down. He would fight for their freedom, no matter the cost. Siddharth noticed a few old rusted chains in the corner and quietly made Sonam aware of them. In a slight moment, they both knew what they were going to do. They rushed to the chains, and Siddharth quickly devised a plan.
When I distracted, grab those chains and throw them over to its arms.
Got it.
Sonam nodded, fear pushing her forward. As Siddharth charged at the creature again, shouting to draw its attention, Sonam readied the chains, her heart racing. This was their chance to end this nightmare. Siddharth and Sonam managed to edge closer to the glowing symbol, the creature thrashing intensifying.
We need to touch it together.
Siddharth urged, glancing back at Sonam. She nodded, her determination shining through the fear.
On 3.
Siddharth counted.
1, 2, 3.
They both reached for the symbol, with it brushing against the warm glow. The moment they made contact, a blinding light enveloped them, radiating through the chamber.
Sonam.
He gasped, his voice hoarse. She didn't look away from the creature.
Fine.
She muttered,
But we need to get out of here.
with one last screech, the creature dissolved into the shadows, retreating into the walls. The room stopped vibrating, the air growing still, but the threat lingered. He smiled weakly, wincing in pain.
Think you saved me a little more.
Despite everything, Sonam smiled back, feeling a rush of warmth.
Come on. Let's get out of here now.
Together, they limped towards the door, both bruised and shaken but alive. As they stepped out of the room, Sonam glanced at Siddharth. As they wandered aimlessly, Sonam couldn't shake the way her heart had leapt when Siddharth stood in front of her, shielding her from the creature. There was a warmth in his touch, a quiet protectiveness she hadn't noticed earlier but now couldn't stop thinking about.
Siddharth?
She said softly, breaking the silence as they rounded a corner, entering a large room.
I don't know what I would have done back there without you.
He stopped, turning to face her. His dark eyes softened as they looked into her.
You would have found a way, Sonam. You're stronger than you think.
Siddharth,
Sonam whispered, her voice faltering as she looked up at her.
I don't know what's happening to us, but I feel like
She trailed off, unsure of how to voice the emotions that swirled inside her. Sid stepped closer, his hand brushing her cheek, sending a shiver down her spine.
I know. I feel it too.
Sonam's breath hitched as he leaned in, his lips hovering near hers. His heart raced in her chest, world tilting as his hand cupped the back of her neck. Everything about it felt right. His touch was electric, his presence intoxicated. His eyes, which had been so warm a moment ago, now glowed with an eerie, unnatural light. There was a flicker of something strange in them, something she hadn't seen before.
Siddharth,
She asked, her voice shaky.
what's wrong?
Crept across his face, one that made the hair on the... A slow, unsettling smile crept across his face, one that made the hair on the back of her neck stand. His smile grew wider, more unnatural.
This has all been a part of my plan, Sonam.
He said,
From the moment I met you, every twist, every turn in this place, it has all led to this.
Sid, you're scaring me.
You should be scared.
the man that she had grown close to, the one that had protected her, started to morph into something inhuman. His skin rippled and darkened, his body growing larger, more monstrous. His hands, once warm and gentle, transformed into sharp, claw-like appendages. His face twisted, his mouth elongating into an insect-like jaw.
Siddharth, stop. What's happening? What are you?
But her words died in her neck as his transformation completed. He no longer looked like the man she had shared tender moments with. Standing before her was a monstrous, towering creature, giant grasshopper-like being, its exoskeleton gleaming in the faint light. His insect eyes glowed with a gold, predatory hunger as he loomed over her.
This was always the plan, Sonam.
It said, its voice now a chilling echo of the man she had fallen for.
I lured you here, played the role of protector, all for this moment.
Sonam screamed as the creature's jaws opened wide, her body trembling with fear as it loomed over her. The last thing she saw before darkness consumed her was Siddharth, the creature devouring her whole, its monstrous hunger finally satisfied. Sonam wakes up with a cold sweat in her car, heart pounding, realizing the terrifying events were just a dream. She sits outside the restaurant, still shaken. She spots Siddharth. He was standing outside the restaurant, looking down at his phone. His expression was calm, and he looked just like as she had remembered him, human, warm, kind. There were no signs of the creature from her nightmares. Although she couldn't shake the feeling of something far more real than any nightmare, she hurried home, not daring to look back. In aerial view, we see Siddharth's eyes glowing in dissatisfaction as if he lost his chance, and from afar, we see the same small boy looking at them with the same eerie grin.